In this video, we remove a domain controller from a Windows Active Directory domain. Hello everyone, I'm Travis and welcome to my channel. This is the second part to a previous video. In that video, we added a Windows Server 2025 Data Center Azure Edition domain controller to a Windows AD domain. In this video, we remove an old domain controller the new one replaces. Before that, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. That helps others find this channel and is greatly appreciated. Check out my courses on hybrid identities with Windows AD and Entra ID, Azure Virtual Desktop, Windows 365 with Intune Management, and my newest course, A Beginner's Guide to the AZ900, available at udemy.com. The links are below. And thank you, channel members. Your support is appreciated. Back to it. As stated in my last video, I have some extremely dated hardware in my home lab that needs to be replaced. I'm updating domain controllers as a first step to that process. The previous video reviewed some steps to add a new Azure IaaS domain controller to the domain, along with some considerations specific to running virtualized domain controllers in Azure. I'll add a link to that video below. In this video, we remove the old domain controller from Windows Active Directory. There are a few things to know before we get started. First, we need enterprise or domain admin rights to remove domain controllers from a domain. We'll verify there are no FSMO roles on the server we're removing and transfer any that are on the domain controller before we remove it. Also, if the domain controller is a DNS server, we need to update any DHCP servers or DNS clients that point to the server we're removing. It's also a good idea to run some health checks to make sure that Active Directory is healthy before making a major change. It's also a good idea to have a current backup of Windows AD. Once all that's in place, we can start the domain controller demotion process. After removal, there's a couple additional steps to remove metadata left behind. Let's log into the domain controller we're removing to get started. Here we are logged into the domain controller that will be removed. Before we remove the domain controller, we need to verify no FSMO roles are running on it. We can view the servers that have the FSMO role with PowerShell by going to Tools and select Active Directory Module for Windows PowerShell. We have a couple options to view FSMO roles. We can run get AD domain. That will show us the infrastructure master, PDC emulator, and RID master roles. We can also run get AD forest. That will return the domain naming master and schema master role. Or we can use netdom query FSMO. And that returns all of them. It shows that the domain naming master is still on DC10. DC10 is the domain controller that's going to be removed. We need to move that. We went through the steps to move them manually in my last video. Check that out if you want to use the GUI. I'll leave a link to that video below. As I mentioned in the last video, in production, you may benefit from more planning on the locations the FSMO roles will go to. This is a single domain lab, and I'm not concerned with where the roles are placed. We can also move them with PowerShell with the move AD directory server operation master role command. I'll leave a link for more information below. We'll use PowerShell for this example. For the command, we have to provide an identity, then specify the operation master roles to move to the server. The numbers correspond to a role. PDC emulator is 0, RID master is 1, infrastructure master is 2, schema master is 3, and domain naming master is 4. This command will move all those roles to DC11. But the only role we need to move is the domain naming master. So let's delete all numbers. And we'll only use option 4, the domain naming master. We'll run the command, and we'll verify yes. Now, if we run netdom query FSMO, all the roles are on the new domain controller. Next, we need to update our network to remove any reference to the computer we're removing as a DNS server. This includes Azure VNets, on-premises DHCP servers, and any location where this server's IP address is used for DNS. That could even include printers and multifunction devices with hard-coded IP configurations. Those are always fun ones to find. For this example, we're going to update a VNet. From the Azure VNet, go to Settings, DNS Servers. This example is using custom DNS and pointing the DNS at the domain controllers. The bottom one, 10.0.0.211, is the old one. Let's remove that. And we'll add the new one, 10.0.0.4. We get a message that servers won't get the new settings until they're restarted. That's fine for this example. Let's save. And now the new DNS configuration is saved on that VNet. Next, we'll verify AD is healthy before we remove the domain controller. Let's open a command prompt. We'll run the command repl-admin with the switch show repl to see if there are any replication issues. We can also run dc-diag with the E and V switch. This tests all servers in the enterprise with verbose enabled. It will take some time to run. The total time depends on the size of your environment. Once finished, review the output and verify the environment is healthy. Now we can remove the domain controller. We can do this with PowerShell and the uninstall ADDS domain controller and uninstall Windows feature commands. Or we can do it from the server manager. That's the route we'll take in this video. From server manager, under manage, select remove roles and features. We'll go next at the before you begin screen. Make sure the correct server is selected. From server roles, remove the checkbox next to Active Directory Domain Services. It asks us if we want to remove the management features. If we're keeping this computer in the domain and using it to manage AD, we could leave those on there. For this example, the server is going away, so I'm just going to leave it as default and remove features. This error is expected. Before we can remove the features, the server has to be demoted. We can do that by selecting the demote this domain controller option. That starts the wizard to demote the domain controller. By default, it uses the currently logged in credentials. Be sure you have enterprise or domain admin rights. You could also change the credentials if needed. Selecting force the removal of this domain controller demotes the domain controller without removing the domain controller object's metadata from Active Directory. We want to avoid that. Let's select next. It lets us know this domain controller is hosting a DNS server and the global catalog, and we'll proceed with removal. We can leave remove DNS delegation as default. Next, we need to add a password for the local administrator. The server will have a local admin account once it's demoted from being a domain controller. We'll go next, and if that all looks good, we can click demote. And as you probably already know, this is a permanent action. We can't stop it once we start. This is going to take a few minutes to run. I'll pause here and come back once it's finished. The server's been demoted. It restarted, and I'm logged back in. You can see we have the yellow triangle in the upper right. That tells us we have the option to promote this to a domain controller. So far, it's only demoted the server, so it's no longer a domain controller. We could go back to manage, remove roles and features, and follow the same steps to remove Active Directory domain services if we wanted to continue using the server as a member server, for example. But this is eventually going to be deleted, so I'm not going to worry about that. For this example, I just wanted it demoted so it's no longer a domain controller. Next, we're going to remove it from the domain. We can do that from local server, select the domain. From rename this computer or change the domain, we'll change it to a workgroup. It gives us a warning that we need to know the local account. That's fine. We can click OK. It requires domain credentials to remove the computer from the domain. And it's been removed. We can click OK to restart. We'll close that. And we can restart now, that's fine. Here we are logged into another domain controller. We're going to verify the computer's been removed and do a little cleanup. First, let's go to Tools and open Active Directory Users and Computers. From the domain controllers OU, we can see we only have 3 now. DC10 is no longer there. So that's good, that means it's been removed. Let's also check Computers. It's still showing in Computers. We can right-click and delete it. And we can click Yes to delete it. We can close Active Directory Users and Computers. And let's go to Active Directory Sites and Services. Let's go to the site that domain controller was in. Select Servers, and it's still showing. Let's right-click on the server and delete. Yes, we're sure. And that removes the server from Active Directory Sites and Services. We can close that. That cleans up our metadata. I'll leave a link below to more information on cleaning metadata. That is how to remove a domain controller from a Windows Active Directory domain. I hope that helps you remove domain controllers from a Windows Active Directory domain. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.